Hello and welcome back to Incredible Inverts and Other Animals with me, Phil. And this video just goes out to a few of my subscribers here. I think I've probably been waiting for a video like this for a long time. That often ask me how this species is doing in live streams and stuff and everything. So this video is going to be on my giant armoured crickets, the Cosmoderus femoralis. Let's go ahead and take a look at these baked bean heads. Okay, so here we have one of my giant armoured crickets, or Cosmoderus femoralis, but there are many sort of common names that are attributed to these guys, and they belong sort of to the bush cricket and katydid family within the sort of crickets and grasshoppers. And so these are a fairly decent size species. And so there are also some, you can see what, hopefully you can see what I call them, the armoured cricket. They got that kind of like what looks like, really spiny armoured plating on the thorax that kind of protects the head. So, but this is my female, and so I'm going to tell by the ovipositor at the rear end. And this angle, you might be able to see one of the other sort of recent sort of common names is that people have started calling these baked bean heads. And so, as their head looks a bit like a real big baked bean with eyes on it. And I've also got a little horn kind of thing at the top of the head. Now, in this enclosure is my male. So I do have a pair of these, and this is where he always is. He's always hiding in this little cork tube here. So he absolutely loves it. You rarely see him out and about out of this. And he looks pretty much exactly the same, apart from the fact that he doesn't have an ovipositor at the rear end. We have the ovipositor, for people that don't know what that word means. It basically means egg placer. So in insects, a lot of female insects have an ovipositor. They lay eggs, and that's how they lay their eggs, either by sticking that in soil or boring that into wood or whatever, or sticking them on things. Yeah, it's their egg placer. So yeah, I'm just giving him a gentle poke just to see if he'll come out. And this one, as I don't normally see him out and about, I realise just how fat he is. So he's got a hell of a belly on him and stuff. If I didn't know 100% that this was a male, and so I would be like, oh, this is a very heavily gravid female, but it's not. He's just been clearly feeding very well and stuff. So yeah, he's on the large size here. Yeah, he takes after his daddy. So, and in terms of food for these guys, they are omnivores. So they'll eat various sort of fruits and vegetables. So I offer them bits of carrot, apple, sweet potato. Very recently offered them some parsnip, and they both of them actually really seem to like the parsnip. And so I've offered them that before. But omnivores, so they do need some, some insect / sort of meat matter in their diet as well, and I give that to them in the form of kind of high protein dog biscuits and dog treats, which they really like, and also pre-killed insects, so crickets, locusts, moria worms, things like that. I absolutely love them. Look at those antennae go. He's like, hello, you woke me up, what do you want to do? But these are fantastic things. So I keep both of them in Exo Terra Nano tools. So, not, they don't necessarily need a huge amount of space. So, and I give them a spray a couple of times a week. So I like to keep the substrate, fairly moist, and then give them a bit of a humidity spike every now and then. And so they are nocturnal, so they are obviously more active at night. So back with the female's enclosure. So that's because I'm going to stick the male in with the female. So when I first got these back last year, actually, was it October, just before October, at the Southern Invert show from Venomous Visions, Tony Webb, I got them as the pair and put them on display within my Halloween display at work. So yeah, it would have been October. The show was just before Halloween. So put these on display in there together. So they were together for a week over that time. So they may have mated during that time. I can't say I saw any evidence of that. I certainly didn't witness that, but I think they are nocturnal, so they're not necessarily all that active when lights are on. So, and then they've been separated since then, just to sort of see how they do, and see if I can see any evidence of female maybe laying eggs or trying to lay eggs somewhere. I'm not 100% sure on where they actually lay the eggs, whether they pour it into wood, whether they'll lay them into the substrate, or whether they'll stick them to things. So I've kept various other genuses within sort of the katydid group, things like the giant Florida katydids, which are another absolutely stunning species of katydid that stick their eggs all in a line along the stem of a plant. And so that's why I've got sort of fake foliage in here in case they want to sort of stick eggs onto that, and just to see. So I thought it's time, let's put them back together again, see how they get on, and so I can see, if I can get any mating with them as well. So you can see here the male really isn't all that active, so female's moving around a little bit. So what I will basically leave him in here for a few days, maybe a few weeks, stuff, just to see. But I have a bit of antennae touch in there, sort of thing, just to see who each other are. So, like I say, during the day, not a huge amount of activity from these guys. They do spend most of the day sort of hiding. But naturally, these guys can be found in Cameroon. So they, in the tropical sort of regions of Cameroon. Here we've got a bit more action from the male. He's sort of waking up a bit and was like, oh, hello, what's this? So I have a nice lady here for me, sort of thing. But it can be a bit, this is my home, this is my log. So, but he does come out of this eventually to have a wander around, and there you can really see his abdomen, just how big that is. So he's clearly been eating a fair amount. And I change the food roughly twice a week for these guys. Just make sure, as with anything, especially fruit and veg, if it's looking like it's about to go mouldy or whatever, or it's getting a bit too soft or whatever, take it out straight away. So they never eat absolutely everything that I stick in. But look at the size of that abdomen on him. But you can see that he doesn't have an ovipositor at the back. So he's definitely a male. And here the females will be like, oh, hello, who are you? Hello, this is my home, what are you doing in it? So the male clearly doesn't really care too much. He's just like, oh no, this is my log. I'm going to sit in my log. I like my log. The female's like, this is new, what's it doing here? Let's have a little nibble on the cork, just see what it is about. So the one thing you do have to be sort of careful with these guys is that they are known to be cannibalistic sometimes. As mainly it seems in the wild, it seems to be that is when it's kind of almost like feeding frenzies that go on. So I've seen some wild footage of these guys and similar species that you kind of go real sort of feeding frenzy. So it was in the wild when they hatch out, they kind of hatch out in droves, and you get lots and lots of crickets all at the same time, marching around and climbing up the trees. And they will invade birds' nests for freshly hatched chicks and stuff. It can be quite gruesome. So I've seen footage of that. You can see the female, her abdomen's not quite, she's not quite as fat as the male. So she's definitely been eating a lot, and again she gets exactly the same food, feeding both exactly the same. So, and I found evidence certainly of her having a good nibble on the parsnip from basically the night before. So I'll certainly have to give them parsnip again. So like I said, I hadn't never given them parsnip before, but I had some spare parsnips going, so I'll chuck some in just to see. So it's always good to experiment here and there with a little bit, but apple is quite a favourite of them. I do like a bit of carrot and a bit of sweet potato, and then like I say, good quality high protein dog biscuits and dog treats I find. So I've been using a kind of like a soft meaty one at the moment, stuff that these guys really seem to like, and things like blue death feigning beetles, some other beetles quite like as well. So, and then they really do like obviously live and pre-killed this as well, so we'll sometimes put like a live cricket in there for them. So certainly only really when they're separated. And so, and I've also seen footage of these guys eating flies and stuff. So they will eat all sorts of things and stuff. So if you've got these guys or these guys available, just experiment with their food. And so I've never tried fish flakes for these guys, but I've certainly heard other people say that they'll give theirs fish flakes and that they like them. So by all means, you can give that sort of thing a go as well. And just try and as with anything, try and keep a nice variety for them. That's probably, I think, the most action I managed to get from these guys. It was kind of a quick hello and then ignore each other. As I said, being nocturnal, chances are there'll be most of the action that will take place at night when it's completely dark in here and I'm not in the room, most probably. So yeah, when I'm fast asleep is when they're going to be kind of most active. So, and hopefully they will mate and I'll produce. It would be awesome if I can reproduce these in captivity. I'm not entirely sure if anyone has at this point. So there we go. I sort of gave up. I'm like, yep, what, the females walked away now. They've said hello to each other, now they're ignoring each other. So I put the male just in the tank. I'll leave him in there. I didn't necessarily expect to get anything. She might not be too happy about, oh no, my home's being invaded by this man, what's going on? Nothing. But there you go, there's sort of a quick overview of the tank. Base substrate of just organic compost, but you could use coir, that'd be fine. And then I just stacked some cork to make kind of branches and stuff. And certainly if you've got a tube on any tubes, that do really seem to like hiding in tight tubes. Okay, what do you guys think to that? Aren't they absolutely amazing? I love these guys to pieces. I've kept them before in the past, so this I do have a confirmed pair. It's easy to tell them apart. So I got these originally in the Brighton show actually last year from Tony Webb Venomous Visions as a pair. So they went together initially as part of the Halloween display I'd done at work. Stuff with the invertebrates, and then I separated them for a bit and stuff just to see what happens, and now put them back together again. Okay, we'll see what happens there. Amazing species. On time recording this, I don't think I'll be able to get any kind of recording of their calls. If you hear any crickets, that is just general crickets. It's my feeder crickets. Their call is really odd. And so they only really the male calls sort of really right in the middle of the night. It has to be pretty silent, around the flat, around here for him to feel comfortable to call. And so they're in my living room. I used to keep the species in my bedroom before, and then I would sometimes hear the call just like all complete darkness. So I'm about to fall asleep, and then I would start hearing it. It's very low and drony, the call. It's not like most crickets and stuff, and it's a noise that you can easily miss. You almost, when you hear it, you have to concentrate, and you're like, what's that noise? And then you realise what it is. But as soon as you make a noise, it stops. So I've only heard the call once, and when I came back late at night from something, came up, and then I could hear again a weird noise. And at first I was like, what the hell's that? Really low humming type sort of noise, and realised, oh yeah, it's the crickets. Tried to get a voice recording of it, completely failed. So I probably won't be able to get the call possibly. If I do, I will stick a clip in just in case, but chances are I won't hear them calling. Well, but hopefully I'll be successful in trying to breed the species. It would be amazing if I can. So as far as I'm aware, no one's really ever bred them in captivity from what I can find out. But if you know of anyone who has bred them, do let me know. So yeah, it would be amazing if I can breed these guys. And so the male's abdomen is huge. He's always stuck up inside a bit of cork, so I pretty much never see him. Whereas the female is out and about kind of a fair bit. So you give him a gentle prod, and he sort of half came out, and it was like, oh my god, your abdomen is huge. If I didn't know that it was a male, I would think it was a very heavily gravid female. But it's definitely male. I've seen the two of them had them when I first got him. So I know he doesn't have an ovipositor. And so, but yeah, hopefully we'll be successful in getting a successful mating. Chances are, chances are it's going to happen at night. And so probably early out in the morning and stuff, and once all the lights are off in here and stuff, and I'm long gone to bed and gone to sleep and stuff. So I'll keep him in there, keep an eye on him, take him out maybe in a few days to a week's time or something. And so I'll just make sure that he's right, because they can sometimes be cannibalistic. And so, but I think normally, as long as there's no scent of blood or anything like that, then they're going to have seen footage of these guys and that similar species in the wild, where those of them are climbing up trees, raiding birds' nests, and then with the scent of the blood from them eating, bird chicks alive and stuff, they start eating each other. And they're just going to a massive frenzy, and there's thousands of them, and it's just a big massacre of each other. It looks horrendous if you do find that footage and stuff, but it is out there. And so, well guys, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do pop some comments down below, and if you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell for notifications. But until next time guys, take care, stay safe, and keep rocking.